Mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me.
We are waging war on mediocrity. It ain't no friend of me. It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you again another edition of Motivational Monday. I hope, and I pray, and I already know that you all are getting your week off to a wonderful start. Thank you all for joining me on this brand new edition of Motivational Monday. If you would, please, all the replayers, please give me 30 seconds as I share this out. And then also for everybody, please share, like, host watch parties. Hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us today. Y'all give me 30 seconds as I share this out. I really appreciate you all joining us. Starting to see the eyes add up. If you would, just give me a shout out. Let me know where you are as I share this out. If you would, please share it as well. For all the replayers, give me about 30 seconds as I share this out to all my social media outlets. I see Periscope out there. What's up, Periscope, Twitter? Thank you for joining us today. Facebook, what's going on out there? How's your week going? I've heard from Periscope. I've heard from YouTube. I'm yet to hear from Facebook out there. How's everything going out there in Facebook land today? I see my mom just popped on. Hey, Mom. Let me share a couple more places, and I'm going to be ready to get going. Share it here. And I have no idea what Christian is riding upstairs, but I hear it. Oh, I hope there's not too much feedback in the back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's break bread. If you would, please type names in that box. Invite people to come and join us tonight, because tonight is night 4 of Make Your Way Prosperous. Night 4 of Make Your Way Prosperous. Y'all don't mind? Let me text my wife 1 second, tell her whatever Christian's doing to stop, because that's going to be annoying by the end of this video. Yep. Do y'all hear that noise in the background? All right. I appreciate y'all giving me a second just to get that out of the background. All right, let's get this on. Again, part 4 of Make Your Way Prosperous. If you all have gotten anything out of week 1, week 2, week 3 of Make Your Way Prosperous, please put it in the chat box. Let me know what you got from this. Hey, Tracy, thank you for joining us today. If you got anything from this Make Your Way Prosperous, this is part 4. Go ahead and drop it in the text box, because I know I've been getting some text messages. I've been getting some DMs, inboxes about making your way prosperous. And I'm hearing stories about how people's lives are becoming better. And the funny thing is, with the one I got recently, is that it's not funny, but the thing is that nothing has changed physically in their life, but they believe that life is changing by them controlling their thoughts. Like, it's funny how once people start hearing new ways of thinking and ways of doing things different and being able to change some things, like things start changing in your life internally, and then you recognize it. They recognize it externally. They sent me a thank you inbox DM, and I just asked, like, okay, what has changed? And physically nothing, but now, like, situations, how they were handling them at work one way, they're not handling the other way, and so they know that walking in their gift is connecting to how they managing these situations differently. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, learning is an important thing. It's amazing that when there were slaves, they had one main rule for slaves, was that you could not know how to read, and they didn't want you around people that knew how to read. And the reason why is information is powerful. Once you can begin to have a different experience through a different lens, it changes your manifestation in this earth. I'm going to break bread before this night is over. This is the warm-up. I'm giving y'all time to go ahead and hit people up and let them know to get there, Come on, Vaniqua, my entire way of living. Information is powerful. Information, in all you're getting, you got to get some understanding. How does information start? Information starts with knowledge. And this Make Your Way Prosperous series, for me, I'm just talking for me. Like I'll tell you, I know Vaniqua has too. Like I've listened to at least each one of these 4 or 5 times in the same week, because as I was sitting there listening to it, it was speaking to me in a different place about, man, like this stuff is true. Come on, Michelle. Speaking to Mike, it's powerful. And the moment we start getting new information, we can have new thoughts. The problem with most of us is we're not getting new information, so I only have the thoughts of my past. I only know what I've known in the past, and this Making Your Way Prosperous series gives you the opportunity to see your life through a different lens. I'm not going through that, because if you missed last week's Motivational Monday, I suggest you go back and go back and you get that. What's up, my boy Ron? Thank you for joining us tonight. I suggest you missed last week's, because last week it laid the foundation that we truly gotta have to change what we observe. All right, y'all. I done gave enough introduction. I tried to give people 5 minutes to get on here. I say let the hungry eat. I say let the hungry commence. I said every Monday on my Motivational Mondays. I said every Sunday on Bridging the Nations. There is a special place, a special section in heaven for the hungry. I believe that. I believe that, and that's why we gonna break bread. So this episode 4 of Make Your Way Prosperous, actually episode 75 of Awaken Your I Am, part 4 of Making Your Way Prosperous. This whole series came about because, and normally, like you all know, on Motivational Mondays, I don't do a lot of spiritual things from the Bible. Or I always do spiritual principles, but not directly through scripture. But as I was reading this scripture, it spoke to me in more than just in my spiritual life. That there was a connection to my, it was a connection to my external, not just to my deity, but there was also a connection to my humanity. And so I decided to bring this to the Motivational Mondays. Joshua 1:8. It said, "This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth." The first night we talked about controlling your tongue on the first message. Second message we talked about, but thou shalt meditate day and night. We talked about meditate. The third one was last Monday. We talked about thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written. Come on, Ivan, you're gonna break bread tonight. We talked about all that is written therein. And tonight, for the final climax of Make Your Way Prosperous, we're going to talk about the prosperous part of this thing. Because there are, man, listen, there are benefits to making your way prosperous. There is another level of living. When you start speaking the right stuff, you start meditating on the right things, you start observing all that is written, for thou shalt make your way prosperous and have good success. See, right there, out there, I got to start triggering some new thoughts. I need somebody to go in the chat book. I need to go to the chat book. Need to go in the chat box and say, I'm making my way prosperous. I am making my way prosperous. I'm not waiting on Ed McMahon. I'm not waiting on Tyler Perry to do a giveaway. I'm not waiting on Powerball. I'm not waiting on Zell Miller to be able to send to send my kids to school. I'm not waiting on my pastor and them to pay my light bill. I'm not waiting on my cousin and them to get their big check. I'm not waiting on my W-2 to come in. I'm not waiting on no Corona package to be approved by Congress. I'm making my own way prosperous, and I'm going to have good success because I'm doing the things outlined in Joshua 1:8. Somebody better holler at your boy out there. I see Derek, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm making my way prosperous. I have no time to wait for me to put my belief in another human. I have no time to wait to put my belief in this United States government. I have no time to wait to put my belief in Wells Fargo. I am making my way prosperous by the great I am, awakening my I am. And now that I've learned to control this tongue, that I've learned to meditate on the right thoughts, and now that I've learned to do according to everything that is written, now it says I can make my way. See, for a lot of us, yeah, I'm gonna break bread and I'm gonna get into these notes. I got plenty of stuff over here we got to get to tonight. But before I get there, I know this is night 4, but I feel like I'm still laying. I'm making my way prosperous. Yeah, Derek, I'm making my way prosperous. Vaniqua, I'm making my way prosperous. Mom, I'm making my way prosperous. I stay so fly. I'm making my way prosperous. Ryan King. We got to say that every day, 50,000 times, because there's so many of us. Oh, I got to get into this stuff. I ain't mean for my introduction to be 10 minutes. It's so many of us that we negate the gifts that the great I am has given us to believe more in what somebody else has that's supposed to, well, if he make it, he gonna pull me. No, you don't need to be no hype man. Yeah, we're not waiting on Oprah. We're not waiting on Ellen. We're not waiting on Ayanna. We're not waiting on Steve. We're making our way prosperous, and we're gonna have good success by us controlling what we speak. By me controlling what I think about, and me to observe to do everything therein. And then, boy, tonight, I'm going to make my way prosperous. Before I get into making my way prosperous, my question to you is, can you define what prosperity looks like in your life? The challenge with a lot of us is that we can't clearly articulate what we need. We can't clearly articulate what prosperity looks like to us. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. I'll never be broke, busted, and disgusted. I'm the Abraham of my household. I have plenty more in store. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I am empowered to prosper. I can clearly articulate what prosperity looks like to me. And it's not in, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but prosperity is not measured in dollars and cents. Can you define what good success looks like for you? Oh, yeah, I'm going to break bread tonight. I'm going to close this thing out. We're in the 4th quarter. Michael Jordan has the ball with 3 seconds to go on the clock. You know it's ball game. We in the 8th inning. I got my boy Big Aaron Judge up to the plate. You know it's going, I'm about to go yard. We're going to close this thing out tonight. Can you define and articulate growth? I love it, Vaniqua. Can you define and articulate what is good success in your life? And the challenge with some of us is that because I don't know what prosperity looks like in my life, I don't know what success looks like in my life, I can't clearly articulate what it is, so I accept whatever version that presents itself to me as being true. Although it's false, I accept it because I cannot really tell you what prosperity looks like to me. I can't tell you when I've tapped into it, when I've tapped into success. And the challenge for some of us is, even if we tap into it, we can't coach the next person on how we got there. Derek said, access to all things in the kingdom. That's how he articulates prosperity and success. We talked about that last week, having access. And I think for a lot of us, we allow the world's definition of success to taint what the kingdom definition is for success. See, the world says, I got to have X amount of dollars. Yeah. The world says I got to live in this kind of house. Yeah. The world says I got to drive this Bentley. Yeah. They say I got to have $1 million worth of jersey. I got drip on when I'm going out. The world says I got to eat at the best restaurants. And people, let me say it this way. Mere humans judge success based on things. Yeah, I got to break bread tonight. Mere humans judge success based on the things that you can buy from another person. I'm breaking bread right now. If you only define success by your external, you will always be lacking the internal fortitude in order to create it from the internal to the external, because you only value things and material items that are external. If you only value what's external, if your only goal in life, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with driving Bentleys, I'm not saying there's anything with wearing Louis Vuitton, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a green Gucci suit, but if you value all of those things more than you value your old growth plan, more than you value you building yourself and so you can leave something for your children's children. If your goal in life is to have those things, you can have those things and be miserable. Things will never make you happy. It's amazing, man. I'm gonna break bread. I've been where I made $20,000 a year, and I said, man, if I could just get to 30,000, I have everything I need. I've been where I made $40,000, $50,000 a year. I said, man, I could just get to 70,000, I can start living. Man, now I'm at 70,000. If I get to 100,000, man, I can do some things. God, I can change the world. Get me to 100,000. Now, get me to 200,000. Now, no, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta break bread with you. I gotta break bread with you. Stop chasing the external. Stop chasing the things. If you seek first the kingdom, those things will be added unto you. I was not liberated until Matthew 6:33 became living in my life. And for most of us, we're so busy chasing the promotion. We're so busy chasing the title. We're so busy chasing the thing that we negate the very stuff that will get us there. I heard one motivational speaker say this. I think it was, I can't even remember who it was, but he said, it's amazing. The things that men got for free, we don't value at all. We have our health. God gave us a working mind. He gave us a beating heart. He gave us a body that functions perfectly, and that we do not value. We value more the things or wearing green Gucci suits or wearing Louis Vuitton shoes, or we value wearing the whatever the latest name brand is, and we will put on this facade that because I have these things that I've made it. Or I drive the biggest Mercedes, the S550, but now because I have those things, I've made it. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta break bread with you. I gotta break bread with you. You could get those things. You can get those things, but you can't have those things. Those things will eventually have you. You will be driving the big Mercedes, having to borrow to put gas money in the car, or figuring out how to pay your car insurance because now that Mercedes have you and you don't have it. I just broke bread. A lot of the things in your life you've been pursuing are the things that are having you right now, and you're not having it. The moment you start living from the inside out and you become a proactive participant in your own decision and living life on your terms, is the moment you begin to make your way prosperous. It's too many of us that have this facade of prosperity. I was him. I had a big car. I had a nice house, but it was all propped up on a faulty foundation. And the moment a wind came in, it all crumbled. Why? Because it was not built on the right foundation. I thought having a house in the old nice part of Montgomery, where it was a nice house where all the lawyers and doctors are, oh, I made it now. But one wind came and it was in foreclosure. Why? Because it was built on a faulty foundation. It wasn't built where I was speaking the right things out of my mouth. It wasn't built because I was meditating on the right thoughts. It wasn't built because I was observing to do all in accordance therein. It was built because I was trying to escape my own reality of a poverty mindset. And in order for me to escape the poverty mindset, people got to believe I have prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, it was built on a faulty foundation. And one strong wind came. The wind really wasn't that strong. One brisk wind came and it blew it all down. Why? Because it was never mine in the beginning. I had it, but it had me more. I was a slave to it. It was not a slave to me. I'm breaking bread right now. And for most of us, we're slaves. Oh, I gotta go here. Y'all know your boy. Y'all know your boy. I gotta go here. We become slaves to our own lifestyle. We become slaves to this rat race or this hamster wheel that we call life. And the things that are most important, we have stopped building. I told you, ladies and gentlemen. And when I started this conversation tonight, I told you it all starts with information. The moment you stop growing, the moment you stop moving in the direction of your goals and of your dreams, the moment you stop seeking it the kingdom's way, the moment you begin to believe that you are more than it. It's the moment, ladies and gentlemen, the moment where we trade our truth in for the lie. It's the moment when you hear who told you you were naked. It's the moment when somebody told, with that moment when you sit there, when you've been given all things according to his riches. But it's the moment you say, I got to have it my way. Instead of meditating, instead of speaking the right thing, instead of observing, I've decided I got to have it this way. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We sit in the seat currently of the words that we've spoken and the thoughts that we've meditated on and what we've observed to do. We sit in that seat today, whether positive or whether negative. This seat that I sit in, I built it. When I had that foreclosure, I couldn't blame that on the bank. I couldn't blame that on balloon interest payments now coming due. I couldn't. I was knowledgeable at the time. I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew I couldn't afford it if I had an APR. I knew I had to just pay the principal, and I couldn't afford to pay the interest. And when I put my name on the mortgage, I knew I knew everything I was doing. But it was built on the foundation that I gotta let these folks know that I ain't that broke-minded little kid from the red clay anymore. That now I have attained something that the world perceives as being something. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have it. I got it, but it had me. It had me. Oh, staying up. Oh, am I gonna come home tonight and see my stuff on the lawn? It had me. How am I gonna pay the heat? How am I gonna heat this? It had me. And ladies and gentlemen, free your minds. I'm gonna talk about it tonight. That you can't judge good success based off things. You do not judge success based on the size house you live in. Or success is not based on what schools your kids go to. Success is not based on how much money you make per year. That's not the definition of success. We got to change it. Let's get into it. How do I define prosperity, motivational teacher? Prosperity is not about attaining wealth or living a life of luxury, but about thriving as the person that God created you to be. That's it. When you were sent to earth, I say it all the time, I want to help you find your human capital. God, the people love talking about the GDP and the GDP, and it's the most important gross domestic product. Like the whole world runs on the GDP, and they love talking about the diamond fields over there in South Africa. I'm telling you, the most important capital is human capital. The most important, we just saw and learned through the United States of America that the GDP is propped up on a false sense of security. We saw that when Corona hit. First thing went down, the stock market. Woo. The most important capital on earth is human capital. And I'm here to help you find what you were sent here to do. It's about you thriving as a person. It's not about working 8 to 5 to pay your bills. It's about finding what you've been put on earth to do and doing it the best. Oh my God, when you find where you fit, you do it better than anybody, and you will spend as much time as you need to perfect the gift in order to be of service, because you know that, can I tell y'all a secret? That value, that money follows value. Don't seek money, seek value, and money will find you. Yeah, Vaniqua, say that again. It's too quiet out there. I'm breaking bread right now. It's too quiet out there. I hope somebody over there writes some notes, because it's too quiet out there, because I'm telling you right now, the key, I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom, that you shall prosper and have good success. That you shall prosper and have good success. Yeah, the great I am might bless you with wealth, but there's no guarantee. Yeah, my goal in life to be this. But it's the funny thing is, when you find where you fit and it becomes fire shut up in your bones, the money doesn't matter anymore. Like, I mean, like, it's so amazing. Like, I had a call the other day. Somebody wanted me for a speaking engagement, and I gave my numbers. And the person I gave how much I charged, it was for a two-part speaking engagement. And I gave my number, and she was like, "Cool, we got it. Come on, let's start planning." And it's funny because I remember a time when I gave somebody, like a $6,000 quote for a speaking engagement. I remember a time when I would cringe. I remember a time when I would cringe, like, man, that's a lot of money. But the time when you start becoming one with your gift and you understand that you start investing your life in that gift. And when you start to see the results that people have because of your gift, man, you gain confidence in what I have. And in what I have is worth whatever people have to pay for it because I've given my life to this. Value. Money finds value. Stop looking for money and look to be more valuable. We talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago. How much time are you meditating? It takes you nothing to be the top 5% in your industry. And whatever you want to do, it takes you almost no brain power to be the top 5%. You want to know why? Because the majority of the people, 95% of the people that walk around in the industry you do, they have no thought attached to what they do every day. They're just going through the motion. I want to get my paycheck so I can go home and pay my bills. It takes very little effort to be the top 5% in the world with what you do. I'm telling y'all, you sit here with your boy now, you see 14 eyes. I'm telling you, you're going to blink and come back in 2 years, and you might not be able to get on here unless you on here early. I'm telling you, like that's how this thing is done. As you begin to work in silence. See, you got to work when the lights are off. You got to work when everybody else is asleep. You got to be somewhere working. You got to be getting time in. When they saying ain't nobody listening to you, man, I don't care if you out there talking to wild locusts and honey. I'm gonna tell what I got to be. I'm gonna say what I've got to be said. Why? Because it's like fire shut up in the bone. And when my time has come, I don't have to go looking for it. It will find me. When my time has fully come, it will find me. Elon Musk went from bankruptcy to now the richest man. Well, he went from bankruptcy to now the richest man in the world in a small time frame because Elon Musk, and with all his whatever he got going on, he was working in silence. Come on, Vaniqua said I'm gonna be there early. I appreciate it, Vaniqua. I appreciate it. She said I'm gonna get there early. I'm telling you, the day is coming. And that's what I'm saying for most of us. See, most of us sit back and wait until the day comes to start the work. And everything I said about Joshua 8 was all about preparation for when you get there. See, most of us, we miss the opportunity because we have not been speaking the right words. We have not been meditating. We have not been observing to do according. And when the moment comes, we miss it. I mean, I talk about, Eminem, lose yourself in the moment. When he talked about he got the mic, man, he didn't have it because he didn't take the time before he got the mic to build it. You got to build, baby, build right now. You got to learn, but in the words of Martin Luther King, you got to learn, baby, learn so you can earn, baby, earn. The learning comes before the earning. But in today's society, I want to earn before I learn, and I want you to pay me while I'm learning. It doesn't work that way in the kingdom. Baby, you got to give it first. Hey, it's always seed time and harvest. You got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. You better say that, Derek. It's always seed time. The seed has to go down before you get the harvest. It's not harvest first and then seed time. We got to change the way we believe. We got to change the way we think. We have to change the way we see ourselves. We got to change and know that everything that I'm doing is in preparation for me walking out my gifts and walking out my calling. That, man, you got to let me get into my stuff. I'm going too far out. Let me go. True prosperity. Listen to your boy now. Make your way prosperous and have good success. True prosperity and true success is about living a life fully engaged with kingdom principles. I'm going to lose some people right there, and I'm okay with that. It's living a life that is fully engaged with kingdom seed time and harvest. It's a kingdom. It's living a life where I'm not looking. Boy, I'm telling you, this is a sure thing. This is as close as you can get to automatic. I ain't got to buy no Powerball ticket. I don't have to wait for Zell Millis for my children's education fund. I ain't saying it's a bad thing, and some people have to do that. And I'm not hating against people that do. But what I'm saying is that there is a way that this is a sure way. My couch, y'all gotta have. a 4.2 and a 95 on the ACT to get to Zell Miller, I'm telling you, your kid don't have to have no 4.2 and no 95 for no Zell Miller. You can make your way prosperous and have good success. Q, you better charge it up. But hold that thing up to the sun and say, work, phone, work, because the boy breaking bread tonight. We don't have to go as the world way. It's having a life fully engaged with kingdom principles. Being in kingdom principles mean I gotta break bread. And I got stuff I gotta get to. But this is my last nugget before I get into my notes. This is my last nugget. Me living a life of kingdom principles means that I trust God. I trust the great I am, awakening my I am more than I trust what I see. So the question becomes, what's more real? Me working principles or me believing what I see? Come on, motivational teacher to the mass, make it plain. It takes a very committed and dedicated person, night in and night out, day in and day out, to come out and put a seed in the ground. I gotta water that seed. I gotta put fertilizer around that seed. I gotta make sure that I got proper sunlight, and I might have to do that 2 years before I ever see a sprout out the grass. Out the ground. I'm about to break bread. It takes a special person to believe that the law of seed time and harvest is more real. There's more going on underneath the ground surface than what I see on top of the ground surface. And it takes a special person to believe that my roots are going down as I plan and prepare for Motivational Monday after Motivational Monday, as I plan and prepare for this and that, whether people show up or not, I go all in because it's not about this moment in time right here, but I know my seed is under the ground right now, and it's just, I'm going to do it because I know eventually the principle of seed time and harvest is real. If I do it long enough, it's just a matter of time before I get to reap the harvest. And my question to you is, can you give me, oh, this is going to make some people mad. Can you give me 3 to 5 good years of being a seed? Boy, I'm going to break bread. Can you give me 3 to 5 years of being a seed before you looking to pull out the ground? And see, I told you, a period of time. Most mere humans want the period of time to be an overnight success. Most of us want the period of time to be 2 days. When I heard Kevin Hart say, I did 19 years of comedy on the circuit before I got my big break. I heard Steve Harvey, was 40 before Colonel Sanders was 65 before he got there. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we have to look beyond what we see and start living. Come on, Lisa, and living in what we know. I'm breaking bread tonight. I don't know what's going on. This whole making your way prosperous thing, man, it's taking this to a new level. Do I trust the principle more than I trust my own eyes? Or better yet, do I have more faith in the principle than I have in what I see? Yeah, we talk about making your way prosperous and having good success. I feel like I always talk about making your way prosperous. And I think there's a lot of people that see this and they say, yeah, motivational teacher to the masses, that I want that to be me, and I'm going to do all those things, but I got to break bread. Today, I want to do the reverse of that. Instead of telling you what prosperous people do, I want to talk to you first about what they don't do. Because I think there are always some things in our life that we need to remove. Like I told you when I started this whole conversation, I had a poverty mindset. I could never attain true prosperity until I was able to stop believing more in my poverty mindset than I did in the principle of Joshua 1:8, making my way prosperous. It wasn't until I walked away from that, until that poverty mindset, until I can walk into the prosperous mindset. 5 things that prosperous people don't do. Get your notepads out. And this is according to Williams translation. I got a lot of friends that doing a lot of good things. Help not to give up. Come on, bro. We gonna fight. We gonna fight. That's what we do. This stuff don't come without a good fight. Man, if you're not a fighter, this ain't for you. It's gonna require that you push past mediocrity. It's gonna require that we gotta get up in the morning, although I feel so tired. It's gonna require that when I want to cuss a joker out, I still got to hold my tongue because I understand that I've been meditating. And I can't throw away what I've been meditating on for the last 30 days away from one joker who it ain't really the person. It's something to come to reveal something in you. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we only got one problem in our life, and our only problem in this life is us. Boy, I just broke bread. I just broke bread. Walking away from the one relationship has evolved me in a short time. Come on. It'll do it. Never give up. You have to fight for it. Come on. Help not to give up when you got it. You got a community of people right here. Problems only persist to show you. Remember, man, that this life is more than me just sitting in this moment in this chair dealing with what I'm dealing with. You have to know that God, that the great I am has designed and purposed you for something upon this earth. You got to know that this is not the end for you. If you are still on this side of the dirt, there's work to be done. There's mindsets that need to shift. There are things that I got to change in order to improve myself and to get where I want to be. All right, 5 things that prosperous people don't do. Number 1, Williams translation. They do not focus on what they don't have. Prosperous, I ain't talking about people with a lot of money. I feel like when I do believe that when we were 8 of us in that 3-bedroom trailer, we were prosperous in that 3-bedroom trailer. We knew how we got there, and my folks knew how to get us out. Out of that 8 of us in that 3-bedroom trailer, you got 5 degrees, and you got multiple high level degrees. It ain't about what you don't have. It's about what you have. You got to give up the thought that I lack this or I lack that or I need this or I need that. You got to begin with what you have. Moses, what do you have in your hand? David, what do you have in your hand? Anthony, what do you have in your mouth? My question to you is, I got to give up the story of what I don't have. And I got to start building on what I do have. We talked about that a little bit 2 weeks ago. I got to build on what I have. What I have is integrity. What I have is truth. What I have right now is my words. What I have right now is I cook cookies pretty doggone good. What I fry chicken, but I could have whatever it is that you do, you got to start building on it. As long as you hold what you got in this hand, nothing can get out, but nothing can get in. We got to start looking to what I have. And if I start putting down what I have, I start learning more about what I have. I start engaging with more people with what I have. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, your energy is a magnet. The moment you start putting down what you have, you will begin through your awaken I am to attract other people. Oh, God ain't sending them. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. God is not sending them. God is giving you an awaken I am, and your awaken I am draws them. Well, God sent this person to me. Come on, man. God could have did it 20 years ago if he wanted to. He could have did it 50 years from now if he chose to. It's your awaken I am at this moment in time that attracts people to you in the moment you need them, or resources to you in the moment you need them. Yes, God is doing it, but he's doing it through your awaken I am. Do you think God like having suffering in this world? Do you think it's God's will that people can't pay their light bill? Do you think it's God's will that people go hungry? The answer is no. That is not his will. It's his will that somebody with an awakened I am recognize that problem, that he put it in them to solve it. But it's some people who sitting out there with their I ams not awakened, and problems persist because there's not a man that is willing to take the fight. I'm telling you right now. And I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm not trying to minimize what God, the great I am, does in our life. I'm not trying to minimize it because it's him that set the laws in motion, but it's you who has to work the law. I just broke bread right there. I could really get off this thing right here. Right there, I could really get off this computer right here. Yeah, because right now, it's not about anybody else other than you. It's not about anybody else. You know, I'm relaxed right now and lean to the side and drop presentation mode. And it's not about anybody else other than me right now. I'm the only person through my awakened I am that controls my destiny. I don't care what they say about me. What they say about me can't change my path and my lot in life. It's what I say about me that changes my path and my lot of life. I don't care who don't like me. I don't care who says whatever they say. It's not about them. It's about my awakened I am. Am I being built for the moment? Am I in the process? Am I embracing the process? Am I being built for the moment, baby? That's the difference between the chosen and the called. They don't focus on what they don't have. That's strong. Number two, the prosperous people, they don't wait to save and invest. They don't wait to save and invest. I talked about the gentleman who started Airbnb, how he went in $40,000 of credit card debt, borrowed money from every family member he could in order to start his company for the second time. That's crazy. You should never do that. That's crazy that he's willing to do it. Broke-minded people think that way. People who ain't got much here, it ain't got nothing to do with your pocketbooks, but people that don't have much here always think somebody is crazy when they do something more than average. Oh, it don't take all. If you ain't never been told don't take all that, then you ain't doing it right. It don't take all that to do that. Man, I'm telling you, stop waiting. You have to save and invest right now. You are your greatest asset. There is no greater asset in your company than you. You are the key man, as they will put it in the business world. You are the key man, and you need key man insurance. In order to make sure that your household makes it, you got to invest in you. And you gotta save now for your goals and for your dreams. If you're not investing in you, somebody else will pay you to invest in their dream, their vision. And then if you're being paid to invest in somebody else's goals and vision with no end game, then your goals and your goals and your dreams become the new sacrifice on the altar. There's no longer a need for a ram in the bush. You are personally putting your goals and your dreams at the altar of Sam Walton at Walmart, or at Jeff Bezos at Amazon, or at East Out, wherever you work at. If you don't have an exit strategy, or if you don't have how you're using that position to grow you, then you are walking your goals and dreams to the altar and say, man, I lay them there to be burned because I have no exit strategy. I'm not being proactive in my own life. I'm laying my goals. I'm laying my future down. I'm laying my children's future down. I'm laying my children's future down right here at this altar, and I'm walking away with just building Jeff Bezos or building Sam Walton's or building whoever you're working for, building that kingdom while your kingdom lie dormant. But if you go to that job every day with a purpose, with a single-mindedness about what I'm doing today, what my goal is here today, why I must be here today. See, I don't have bad days on my job. I don't have bad days. I work a secular job as well as I do speaking engagement. I don't have bad days on my job because I know that every day on that job is preparing me for the masses. I know every day on that job is preparing me to be a better coach, to be a better leader, to be a better trainer, to be a better speaker. Every day, the challenges that persist are all sent to grow me. And I approach each one in, okay, great I am. How are we going to awaken my I am today? My I am is never awakened in places where I'm comfortable. I ams are only awakened. Your I am is only awakened in places and positions where you're uncomfortable. If you're looking for a comfortable lifestyle, you will never attract all the things you need in your life to get you to that next level. But the moment you start embracing turbulence, the moment you start embracing chaos, the moment you start embracing the part of, I don't know what's next, I'm uncomfortable, I'm out here in the water, that's the moment your I am is being awakened. I'm telling you, man, if you think about it, and I got to have this conversation because I'm talking about an awakened I am, and I had no intentions of going here. I'm talking about awakened I am. If you think about it, we get paid at the level of problems that we can solve. I just broke bread. We get paid at the level to which we can solve problems. The more problems you can solve, the more solutions you bring, the more money you can make. But if I'm telling you, if your only goal in life is to never be able to solve problems, you want a comfortable life, and you don't want opposition, you don't want you don't want turbulence, you just want everything to be smooth, you're gonna live a life that's full of lack. You're gonna live a life. The problem with people at the bottom, I'm gonna say it this way, and I'm not talking down to anybody. The problem with the hourly wage worker, worker is that they're paid to do a task. If you go to McDonald's, you hit the hamburger, it's gonna ring up 323. If you go over there to the restaurant, the hourly wage worker, they press the button in, bring you the food, it's gonna do it. They're not paid to solve problems. The manager get paid a little more because when that hourly worker have a problem, they go see the manager. And I'm telling you, as long as you're comfortable being an hourly wage worker, you're gonna always live in lack. Listen, everybody have problems, but I'm telling you, rich people problems are different than poor people problems. Rich people ain't worried about how to pay the light bill or where they gonna eat or how their kids gonna go to school. Those are poor people that worried about that. But rich people got some of the same words. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. No matter where you are, you pay to the level of which the problem you can solve. The problems of people with money, people without money are different. I'm telling you, I know people. That's one thing I say. When I die, I'm gonna have rich people at my funeral, and I'm gonna have the poor people at my funeral, all at the same time. That's the one thing. My life will bring everybody together, and I think that was what it was meant to do. But I'm telling you, the problem that persists, and some people gonna get mad because I'm talking like this. But the only way to change people's mindsets is to help them to see that you are part of your own process to becoming great. Lisa said it. You got to get out the boat. If you're looking to be comfortable your whole life and never solve a problem, you're gonna be an hourly wage worker for the rest of your life. Fanico said they're going to talk about me at the hospital for decades to come. Yes, they will. Because when you're mentally, listen, ladies and gentlemen, oh my, I can about throw these notes away. When you're mentally engaged in what you're doing, your I am recognizes problems. And because your I am is awakened, you don't go and complain about the problem. Now, an awakened I am is looking for solutions to solve the problem. And the moment people realize you can solve the problems, they're gonna give you more money and promote you higher. And you can take that experience and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to build my own thing. I'm tired. Hey, look, somebody gotta say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to start getting out the boat and building my own thing. As long as you sit in the boat in your own comfort zone, as long as you're waiting to invest, and as long as you're waiting to save for your own dreams, you're gonna always have that mentality of an hourly worker. You got to change your mindset. You don't let anybody else tell you how much your time is worth. Your time is worth $14 an hour. Joker, you don't set the time of what I'm worth. Now, right now, I'm going to do this job for $14 an hour because I got to learn to increase my value, to increase my pay. But I can believe you me, in 6 months, I will double my worth because the applied knowledge of what I learned in 6 months will be that of my boss or higher. You got to pay me. Now, see me because I can go right down the road to the other person and do the same exact job and get paid twice as much money. Either you pay me, my I am has been awakened. I'm not working for nickels and cents anymore. Now I realize my value because I'm fully engaged, or let me say it this way, I'm totally immersed in what I'm doing for 8 hours a day. The average person just going through the motion. They're going through the motion. They're going through the motion. I'm trying to tell you, come on, Tanya. I'm trying to tell you, the moment you begin to believe that there's something more to you than just punching that time clock is the moment you start coming up with new solutions. You say, well, motivational teacher to the masses, I'm not working in where my industry, where I want to do or what I want to do, but do what you do with excellence. Do whatever you're doing, do it. David was watching sheep. David watched those sheep in excellence. And David didn't know while he was watching sheep, God was preparing him to lead his sheep. Whatever you're doing, do it in excellence. Man, I got to get off this thing. I'm 48 minutes in. Number 3, 5 things that prosperous people don't do. Come on, Lisa, I appreciate it. Number 3, they don't measure success by finances. They don't measure success by finances. They measure success by the scope of their impact. If I impact more people, I know money will come. I'm not worried about, I'm a big student of Grant Cardone. I'm a big student of Grant Cardone. And I was listening to one of his seminars. He was in a room and he had this guy stand up it was a sales company. I think they sold insurance. I can't remember what they sold, but the guy stood up and he asked, "What was your salary last year?" The guy said 400,000. And then Grant Cardone said, "This is some of you all gonna feel like this is arrogant." He said, "Man, I couldn't live off 400,000." He said, "Why would I want to live off 400,000 when I know that I can add more service, and add more value to what I bring, and I can double my income? Why would I want to sit and sell it at 400,000?" But the guy said, "Man, I'm one of the top earners at my job." So he thought he was doing it. And Grant Cardone said, "There's another level of living that you have not tapped into because you're satisfied with where you are." And for a lot of us, we're not even satisfied with where we are, but we've settled into the place that this is all I can have. Like, I believe this is all my I am can attract, ladies and gentlemen. There's another level of living out there. Stop measuring success by dollars and cents. Measure success by the impact that you have in the lives of people. If I make myself more valuable to more people, money will find me. I'm breaking bread right here tonight. Number 4, I'm going to kind of run through these things. I'm on 50 minutes. Number 4, they don't judge or resent other people's wealth. I remember, man, I used to always think that if somebody had something of color, they had to be drug dealers, or if anybody had something, even Caucasians too, they had to steal it. They had to get it by some games where they cheated other people. It wasn't until I began to change my mindset where I stopped resenting that other people had went through the proper process to attain wealth, and me and my stinking thinking was attracting debt and lack. It wasn't until I made the decision to change me that I could change what I was attracting. We always look, misery loves company. Misery loves company. We will find ways to make other people that are progressing and doing more than we are, we'll find ways to make them seem like they're on our level. Misery loves company. We got to change that. Number 5. 5 things that prosperous people don't do. They don't allow their feelings to dictate their choices. They do not allow their feelings to dictate their choices. Like, I can tell you right now, I was pretty tired walking down these stairs. I'm like, man, I was tired. But I know I had to come because why? This is what I do. My feelings don't dictate what I do. My feelings don't dictate. The moment you start, again, I talked about it earlier. What I know, my awakened I am, what I'm meditating on is more real than what I even feel. The aches and pain I feel in my body are not real. They're symptoms that try to make me believe what my body is saying, but I know my body's whole, my body's healed. My body is maintained its health. So what I even feel in my body can't be real. That symptom does not belong to me, and I will never accept it. I'm not saying, of course, you take your medicine, do whatever you got to do in the natural realm, but just saying, on my awaken I am, I know that thing doesn't belong to me because I believe that God and modern medicine works together. Whatever your belief is your belief, but I believe they work together because I don't know a man that can build a heart. That somebody has to awaken his I am to know how the heart works in order to be able to do, like stents and all those different things. God and modern medicine works together. Don't allow feelings to dictate your choices. You meditate on it. You speak the right things. You observe to do what's written within, and you allow those to be the driving forces for your decisions. Last 2 things. What you give yourself will give it. What you give yourself to will give itself back to you. What you meditate on, what you speak, and what you observe to do, that's what you're that's what you're single-eyed focused on. If whatever you give yourself to in those 3 areas will give itself back to you in abundance. It will. Lastly, and I'm getting ready to get off this Motivational Monday. Make a commitment to live life on your terms. I just broke bread. And because your I am is awakened, your terms are God's terms, or the great I am terms. I'm no longer living my life as a hamster on this wheel. I now take full authority and control over my life. Edwin just said, a doctor told me that I would never be pain-free. I completely and absolutely and utterly disagree with that doctor. Your body is whole, your body is healed, and you're the healed of God, maintaining your health. Hold fast to your confession. Meditate on it day and night. Speak it and observe to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds so much more difficult than that when you hear people talk about the road to success. I've given you the blueprint. We become what we think about. I have given you the blueprint based on Joshua 1:8. I have proven my case as I move on next week to a whole nother subject. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I think I can close this one out and say that if you go back and listen to Making Your Way Prosperous 1, 2, 3, and 4 every day for the next 30 days, I guarantee you your mindset, and you will start this. See, it don't take that long. People tell you how long it takes to start changing your mindset, to start attracting a lot of resources. It takes a lot longer, but in order to start changing your mindset, it's just being consistent with the information that you're obtaining. That's why they never wanted slaves to read. If slaves started reading, they could see their life through a different lens, which will propel them to want more. If I keep them away from reading, if I keep them away from understanding and experiencing more, they will never want more than what they have right now. And ladies and gentlemen, some of us have bought the lie just on our own. Nobody really sold it to us. We don't do anything to invest in us. And somebody is happy to pay you $12, $15, $30, $40, $50, $60 an hour to build their kingdom. And I'm telling you, solve problems. And some of you all might be like me, like, okay, you're working, you're building your thing on the side, and you're still working a secular job. It's okay. Do them both. Do them both with excellence. Do them both, because you have an awakened I am. And I'm telling you, if you decide to do that, it's working together for your good. There are lessons to be learned that's going to propel you further. Making your way prosperous so you can have good success. Man, I want to thank y'all for hanging in here for me for 4 weeks. For 4 weeks. And I'm challenging everybody to take you 2 hours a day. Close your eyes or whatever you have to do. I challenge you to take you 2 hours a day and start listening to this and start charting out your path to success. What thoughts? No, write it down. What thoughts must I meditate on? What do I need to speak out my mouth? And what am I observing to do? What words am I observing to do so I can make my way prosperous? Ladies and gentlemen, I've given you the playbook. You have the playbook. Execute it. I know I can speak for Vaniqua. I can speak for me. We're going to go back and listen to this thing at least 15 more times. And we're going to hashtag it 2, hashtag it 3, hashtag it 4, and write down a different thought, because the more I do it, I trigger new thoughts. I get new thoughts. I can start creating new behaviors. That's the process of becoming great. You all have been phenomenal tonight. Thank you all for hanging in here with me for another Motivational Monday. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Tracy. It takes the choice to change. We got to make that choice. Power of the lie. They're rolling pretty fast right now. I can't keep up with the thread. But thank y'all for joining us tonight. Y'all have been phenomenal. And we're going to be back here again on next Motivational Monday. Please, please, please be here and invite somebody to come in, because it will be breaking experience. If you have not, please follow me on YouTube. What do you do on YouTube? You follow on YouTube? Yeah, you follow on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. And then holler at your boy on Twitter. And until next time, I am challenging you all to wage war on mediocrity.
It ain't no friend to me.